48 nights of scares, 10 houses, and more fog than your car headlights can actually handle. HHN 2025 was massive.
It's time to offer some last minute thoughts and opinions of HHN 34 and also looking forward to HHN 35. I know everyone is going to be shocked with where we start this, but we're going to start with shows.
Nightmare Fuel.
Nightmare Fuel. Everybody's shocked. If you follow our Instagram stories, you know we love us some Nightmare Fuel.
Basically, the last 2 months on Instagram have been dedicated to Nightmare Fuel.
Pretty darn close. But honestly, going into HHN 34, we were a bit nervous. New show director. It's the 5th year of Nightmare Fuel. How are the Fuel Girls? How are the dancers? Yeah. How are we going to keep it fresh, keep it new? And with the new show director, what's his vision of the show gonna be?
Back in like July, I was having conversations with Ben, knowing we had a new show director, Charles Gray, to take over Nightmare Fuel. And my question leading into the season was, are they gonna play it safe? Like, he's the new guy, how's this gonna go? Or are we gonna go on the other side of the spectrum and be like, you know what, this might be the very last time we have Nightmare Fuel, just send it, go all out. And I think overall for this season of Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay, they did a great job with it.
They certainly dealt with some frictions along the season with injuries, operational changes, things like that definitely could have caused more friction than it did. The performers did a great job. The team members did a great job. The Fuel Girls did an amazing job. I think it was a great show overall. And that stadium, full 4 times a night for the most part.
Oh, absolutely. And one of those seats was always taken up by Ben.
Pretty much.
But I think we need to give a huge kudos to the Nightmare Fuel team for this year, with all the changes, with the injuries, with just things that were out of the norm. Even every once in a while when a magic trick or / illusion didn't want to work, like they navigated the performance so well. So big shout out personally to everyone performing and working behind the scenes in Nightmare Fuel.
And I know people are going to be like, we're ready for something new.
Yeah.
We're ready for something fresh.
Bring back Bill and Ted.
Bring back Bill and Ted. We completely understand, like, we're never going to yuck somebody's yum. And so whatever Universal chooses to do next year, you know we'll be there. We'll know we'll be there to support our friends and the performers. But we hope Nightmare Fuel comes back in some capacity.
I don't know what you'll do with yourself for like multiple evenings.
Over to SeaWorld.
Oh boy. Throttle, let's go.
What did you think of Hontophonic?
We watched it very few times.
We watched it once.
Hontophonic was a good way to spread the crowds.
Sure.
Personally, I have yet to find a water show that I absolutely love.
I love Sensational.
Sensational, different for me, but still when it comes down to a water show or a show with performers working it, I tend to pick the show with performers working it. Water's cool, but it's water. And so, although Hontophonic is a fun mix-up, not as scary, a little bit more campy and fun and kid family friendly, it wasn't something that drew our attention all the time, but I do think it was a good option to be able to spread people out and around and really fill up all the space within Universal.
I think it was, like you said, great that the water show is back. I'm very supportive of the continuation of a water show. Really for that is to offer something additional to Nightmare Fuel, to the houses, to the scare zones, things like that. So huge support of it coming back. For me, it was a little too like repeat-ish of Ghoulish.
It was a lot like Ghoulish.
It was, and so I
Same
wanted
thing,
something
but different.
Yeah, I wanted something fresh. I wanted something more fresh, more new, more like you had a couple of years to be able to come up with something new, and I was like, this is Ghoulish round 2. And so that's just my thought on it.
If I could like wave a magic wand and have a change to the water show next year, if they bring it back, I want it more evil, more like
especially for an
rock
anniversary
on, dude.
Yeah.
Like channel your Ozzy Osbourne-ness into a water show, and give him a little ode.
Yeah.
But I think that a little like more heavy metal music, throw some pyro into that water show. Like give me some additional HHN scariness into the water show. Probably not as family friendly,
Yep.
but I would be way more intrigued by that, and I think it add a good mix.
Yeah, put Jack as like Jack videos almost, like they do for Sensational. Of how
Jack's Nightmare Water
Jack's
Show.
Nightmare Water Fuel or something along
Water
those
fuel.
lines. Water fuel, yeah.
This isn't water. It's just straight fuel.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. I'm glad they brought it back because we had been kind of like waiting for it, you know, over the last couple of years.
Was there any other show or something along those lines that you think hopefully comes to 2026?
If they decide to bring Club Horror back, I won't be upset.
Yeah, honestly.
Club Horror was a pretty neat addition this year that originally I was like, what? And then we got there for premium night and we loved it. I don't know if it was because of Tommy dancing through Club Horror, or it was just a matter of good music, good lighting, even more fun once the sun goes down. But we actually really enjoyed Club Horror a lot more than we expected.
Honestly, like the dancers and performers did a great job. The DJs were solid. The lighting was always super fun. Just a fun place to kind of hang out. Like have a little different vibe than your normal HHN feel, and so being able to take a break from the scare zones, from the shows, and just enjoy something different was kind of fun. Do I think that maybe operationally, in terms of like hopefully spreading that crowd out a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure, I agree with that. Where it's just like the stages got into the thoroughfare a little bit much, but
You could
navigate it.
You could flip-flop the Chainsaw Gang and Club Horror.
Put the Club Horror
like,
and Simpsons.
Put Club Horror all in front of Simpsons, and like that whole area is just like
cool.
a big party.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be kind of fun. Maybe if you extended it back into
the Fast and
Furious area instead of within the walk area, even more hangout area.
Ooh, that'll get even more scandalous when the high schoolers come out. Which was a whole thing in itself on Friday and Saturday nights, and I said, "Whoo!"
Be nice to performers, people. Like, be respectful.
I'd say that is a big piece that we learned about Club Horror this year. Is like some people didn't really like the dancers, and they just weren't very nice to them, and I don't think that's okay. Be nice to all the people at HHN working and enjoying their night. Now that we've covered some of Ben's most important things like Nightmare Fuel, we should of course talk about the houses, the staple 10 houses that people come to experience, and this year's lineup was pretty solid, I would say.
The fact that we are reflecting back on our top 10 houses, and really there was only like one house that I'm like, I'm good without it.
Grave of Flesh.
Yeah.
What?
But honestly, Grave of Flesh was about the only one of the season that I'm like, I'm good. Like, after the first couple days, after the first couple runs, like, we gave it a shot. We're like, let's go through it a few times.
We even did Behind the Screams.
And did the Behind the Screams with it. And usually, when you do the Behind the Screams, you're like, I appreciate this house so much more.
Yeah.
It didn't pan out for Grave of Flesh, which is okay.
I think the Behind the Screams for me did help me appreciate the entryway of Grave of Flesh and that first area you walk in where you're in your grave. I think that was pretty cool. But Grave of Flesh was one that, like, I think a couple weeks into the season, we just got to where we're like, I'm good.
I'm good.
Like, we did our videos, we ran our houses, and as far as going and doing repeats and giving the houses that are a little bit lower another chance, Grave of Flesh just ended up being one that we're like, nah, we're all right, and that's okay, and we'll let other people go enjoy that house.
And inevitably, each and every season, there's gonna be a number 10.
That's true.
And so, Grave of Flesh was just it this year, and hey, that is just the name of the game of the way the season works out.
Big facts. Speaking of houses that we did our runs through, and then at some point we're like, I'm good. I think that Five Nights at Freddy's falls into that as well for us. As big of an IP as it was, and also as long of a wait time as it consistently had. Five Nights was a really neat house. The animatronics were pretty darn fun,
cool.
and the kid that jumps out behind the what's the game like console that people play, like Atari or whatever. That one got me every time. Most of the scares weren't the scariest for me in that house, and at some point, with as long of a wait time as it was, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
And I think that was really what it boiled down to was wait time. Was like, do I want to wait 20, even in the middle of the season, 20 with Express, 20 minutes.
It was way more than 20
Or
minutes.
or even like Stay and Scream, where you're getting there at 4:15 to wait until 5:15.
Yeah, it was either like you prioritize it to do it the very first thing and you're going to hang out there for 30, 40 minutes and then do it first. Or if you decided maybe I'll hit it later, you're probably like an hour, even with Express. Like it was going to be a wait.
It was going to be a wait. And so understanding that it's like that first room, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, all right, I get it. Now, I do think they'll use the animatronics. They spent a bunch of money on those animatronics. So they will reuse them at some point, whether it's out in Vegas, whether it's Chicago, whether it's a 5 Nights 2 house. Like those animatronics are going to get repurposed. What was your most surprising house?
What was yours? I need to think about that.
For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising in what way?
Surprising that I liked it as much as I did.
Did that come before we watched the third Terrifier movie or after?
I think it only improved over watching the third Terrifier movie like midway through the season.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Terrifier house even before that movie because it was just like, it's kind of fun, it's kind of quirky, it's very gory. Like it is definitely the most gory house that we have seen.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of fun.
It was fun. I think they did a really good job with Art the Clown. I think especially, yes, we did watch the third Terrifier movie midway through the HHN season because we were like, we need to understand this a little bit better. What's sticking out of that Santa guy's nose? But it grew on me a lot also. I appreciated what they put in. I appreciated the goriness. We don't always get houses like that. And I think like it sets us up well looking into the future for other HHN houses of like, you can have your really spooky, creepy, scary, Insidious style houses where you have demons jumping out at you every which way. And then you can also add in a mix of gory houses like Terrifier. I think having different types of scary is a great way to bring in different types of crowds.
And having, we'll call it the major character of Art the Clown present, whether it's in the front of the house.
Oh, that was pretty neat.
Or roaming around, whether it's at RIP tour, whether he was in Club Horror, like having that major character be present, active, like as an ever-present person within Halloween Horror Nights was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it was like we didn't run into Art the Clown a ton.
No.
And I do recognize that they did have to make some adjustments from the beginning of the season throughout to, well, relieve the masses that were following him.
It was crazy.
I think it was pretty neat where you could be walking around and you're like, something's going on. And then all of a sudden you're seeing this character that you're like, oh, that is Art the Clown. He's gonna be the DJ right now at Club Horror and take his baseball bat to the, like, it makes it that much more immersive for your experience in the night.
We'll get to more major characters here in just a second. The one thing that I want to really point out as it pertains to houses, though, was the WWE house.
Yeah, it was a good house.
That was a great house. We're not even wrestling fans.
No, in fact, before the season, I was like, WWE?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Like, how is this going to be a house?
But as we started doing research, as we explored the house, as we learned about Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt Six, and kind of that call it the lore behind it.
Yeah.
We fell in love. And we fell in love with also the respect and the love that the Universal team gave to Bray and his family.
Definitely. I think they did a fantastic job on the WWE house. And again, we weren't big wrestling people, but getting to like dive into the canon that was Bray Wyatt's story and the creativity that he brought to WWE and these different characters, like it was very cool to be able to go through a house and see them come to life in this super creepy, like actual house at HHN. I can say I'm not a house designer, creator. I would never come up with those concepts, but I appreciate the fact that there are people out there who can, because it came together so fantastic.
And I think the Wyatt family really did appreciate that. So from just to hear it again, I know they got it from the family, but like we appreciate the love that the Universal team, Michael, Ramon, like all put into that house because it really came together and it was something special.
Absolutely.
Talking about major characters, we did see a change to a bit of the Death Eaters this year.
Yes, we did. for lack of a better word to put it, we didn't hang out in there like we
No.
used to. We went and checked it out. But Diagon was not the go-to place for us
which
this
was
season.
kind of surprising, honestly. Like, you expect as the Death Eaters come back, people are going to flock to them. And it did not draw the crowds like it did years past. And I'm curious to hear why you think that is.
The change in the Death Eater voiceover announcement, personally, I didn't enjoy it. Some people might have, and I think that if it was our very first experience with the Death Eaters, it wouldn't matter to me. But I specifically remember back in like COVID days when the parks were coming back to life and you had to stay 6 feet social distance. And I remember that voice talking in Diagon, reminding you to have social
distancing
with the accent and the same voice. It wasn't the same voice. I don't know if it was.
That's
or not,
what
but it
connected the dots,
reminded me of it. And then I was just like, oh, it didn't. I didn't like the story of like, go find Harry Potter. I'm like, no, the Death Eaters are here for us. They're here to make us like be Death Eaters or to duel us or to like lead their regime. I don't know. I like the concept of what Death Eaters have done in prior years more.
I think it's, year 3 of the Death Eaters being there?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it could also be people just getting, like, we've seen it.
That's true. That's true. I think with Art the Clown being out and about, I think with the additional pockets of like the zombies, Club Horror, as big of a draw as Nightmare Fuel is, I think people were preoccupied.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
You know, there was other things to go and interact with, the Chainsaw Gang. And so it could just be a matter of, it's not that people didn't enjoy the Death Eaters, they just were doing other stuff, which is okay too. I don't know, there's just something where we used to hang out in Diagon when we weren't doing Nightmare Fuel or houses or eating food. And this year it was more like, hey, you want to go sit in Club Horror?
Yeah.
We've covered a chunk of houses. We didn't talk about all of them. We can always cover more later. A little bit about the characters. Tell me, what was your favorite and what was your least favorite Scare Zone?
I know Cat Lady of Crooked Lane got Scare Zone of the Year.
Yep.
I liked Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. I thought it was cool. I thought it was unique. I thought it was fun. And we'll get to why I think that here just momentarily. But my favorite Scare Zone this year was Masquerade.
Interesting. For the stilts.
I don't know what it is about Hollywood, but clearly I like Hollywood Scare Zones. I don't know whether it's the light. It could be the lighting.
It could
that
be
I
the
like
lighting.
the lighting.
The space, the lighting. I think every year we've gone, the Hollywood Scare Zone tends to be our favorite.
Like Zodiac.
Yep.
Demon Queens.
Yep. I don't remember. It wasn't Grave of Flesh, but it was
the cemetery.
Cemetery one.
Yeah. What was that called? I don't remember. But yeah, like that one. HHN 31.
Yeah. That one might have been one of my favorite ones.
That one was a great Scare Zone. But yeah, that Masquerade Scare Zone with the stilts. I love stilts. Having stilts in Scare Zones is just another layer.
And God bless you, stilt walkers during HHN and Scare Zones. I can only imagine how much your head is on a swivel when you're doing that.
But I loved the set pieces too. The set pieces played well with the lighting, and it was just kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
You like a good artsy-fartsy Scare Zone that gives you room to be able to do the kind of videography you do.
What was your favorite?
I think Scare Zones are interesting because the Scare Zones are the one thing at HHN you get to see being built over the time frame leading up to the launch of the season. Initially, I thought Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, just from the sheer setup of what we were seeing being built alone, was going to be the one I would live in throughout the season.
Honestly. With the pumpkins up in the trees.
I love the pumpkins.
Still do.
I love anything that's like coming up over the top of you, you're super immersed. Lo and behold, we didn't hang out in that Scare Zone very much at all.
We did like our lazy 8. We would come in, go through Masquerade, bump over to Club Horror, like.
Yeah, And so I guess by default, I think Masquerade, and I know it's not a scare zone, but Club Horror, those two areas were my favorite as far as places to kind of hang out in, which I think is interesting because leading into the season, Masquerade, I looked at it, I was like, yeah, it looks all right.
Okay.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Like, interesting thing. And the craziness about scare zones is like you really don't know what it will be like until they fill it with the cast. And I think that's really where things changed for me. I want a more fast-paced scare zone. Like, and I think that that's been something I've really come to learn over the seasons. Our zombies last year, swamp zombies in that same area, zombies are fun. Zombies are cool. I enjoy them. I don't like how slow zombies move. I like scare actors that are coming out at you, walking behind you, giving you like, I like movement in my scare zones.
I think the scare zone that most represented that, at least in the Central Park, it was the Dr. Oddfellow one. You also had a bunch of little boo holes coming out, so it was a little more fast paced. I think there were some really cool elements of the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, though, with having that giant facade and mini show, if you will, at the end of the lane. I thought that was really cool, very interesting take. Did cause a bit of a bottleneck, but I mean, HHN is gonna be busy, and so okay. I also loved the little side adventure that you could have where the cats came out of their own boo holes. Like that was pretty darn cool.
I do wish for the show that all of the cats in the cast were able to like go and hide behind the house or something, and when like the cat lady like does her deal, they all ran out like, you know, stray cats and all that. And, oh my God, she is a crazy cat lady. Look at all these. I think that would have been neat. Cool. There wouldn't have been room based off of how much of a bottleneck, but I think it would have been pretty cool. It would have been pretty cool. Here come all the cats. Like, but overall, scare zones were pretty solid this year. One gripe I'll give when it comes to Origins of Horror, not a gripe. I love the statue scares.
I was like, that's not a gripe at all.
My gripe is the big set piece in the center at the end. I wish it fit the aesthetic a little more. I feel like it was really just there to help divide people and like go either side. But that scare zone, pretty darn neat. The crows were cool. The awesome. Gargoyles were neat. But that darn set piece at the end just really threw me. I was like, what is this? What's going on here?
Not a scare zone, but a huge disdain. Chainsaws and Simpsons.
Yes. One more question for you. When it comes to scare zones, additions, different changes and things, what did you think of our new zombies at Mel's?
I thought they were great. I honestly really liked it. I think they were a fun little addition to continue on the scares throughout the park. I think they were quite additive. Having somebody on roller skates was kind of fun, and they were always like kind of in your face, be like nom noms. Like, it was fun. Here's
some eyeballs. Here's a foot. Here's another hand. Like it was pretty. Or I think what did the fries have on it? Were like fingers or something? I don't know. It was neat. I liked it.
Part of me wishes that they would be in the restaurant, but I also understand that during HHN Mel's gets crazy, and you don't need it to get even more crazy.
Right.
And so part of me is like, I wish they were in there. Part of me also goes, I know why they're not. Talking about Mel's brings up that Mel's is our favorite food stop in HHN. What did you think of the HHN food this year?
The food at HHN this season, pretty solid overall. I liked it. We got to enjoy so much food during Premium Scream Night, which I absolutely hope Premium Scream Night comes back, because there's probably no better way to go and enjoy all the food at HHN than paying for it all in advance and just going and grabbing. I'll take one of everything, please. But the food was a solid lineup. Personally, some things that I know not everyone agrees with, but I was a big fan of, is I hope they keep the Twisted Tater Chips next year.
Yes. So good.
I personally really enjoyed the Twisted Tater Chips way more than an actual Twisted Tater. I like a good crisp kettle chip. And the just theming as a whole for the foods, I think was done very well. The amount of people that went for that buffalo chicken dip and pickles, or the cupcake.
Oh, the Mr. Cupcake.
Mr. Cupcake, adorable, giant amount of frosting. What did you like?
Freddy Fazbear's got crazy busy. Like it was
AKA
bonkers
Louise.
in there. Like, and people love the spaghetti pizza. I think my favorite food was the fried carrot cake.
Oh, yes.
Ultimately, but yeah, I think the food booths were good. I think they were well spread out. I think a good little option. If you wanted grilled food, like you could get it from the Jason food booths. And so it offered kind of a unique bite for everybody and everybody's palate.
I will say, this season, and maybe it's just me not having paid attention before, I feel like the lines for food were longer than normal.
I do too. I do think we'll get to Stay and Scream maybe here in a minute, but having them open during Stay and Scream,
helpful. Very helpful.
Very helpful.
But overall, like, it wasn't until probably towards the end of the season where we finally saw the Jason food booth not have a massive line behind it.
Seriously.
Like, that one was consistently a long line. And also the Clown Cafe, like, always a lot of the food booths had very long lines where when we would come for Stay and Scream, if we wanted to grab something, like, Stay and Scream was the time to grab your themed food, or else you're gonna be there and you're probably gonna miss a show or use that time that you would normally be waiting in line. It did take quite a while to wait in line and get that food.
Do you think the crowds were heavier, lighter, same compared to years previous?
I think they're about the same. I think that we've had some really strong big IPs drawing people in, and just as we did this year with what we saw with Terrifier and Five Nights and even Fallout, like, it drew some crowds. And so I think that we're seeing similar amounts. I think part of it was like when we had Stranger Things, you had such a big Stranger Things crowd. And I think this year we had big crowds from multiple IPs that just really made that much more of an impact. I agree. I don't think it didn't feel any busier than years previously. I know there have been some people, that online threads, Reddit threads, Facebook, whatever, that are like, it's a crazy year, it's a crazy busy year. It didn't feel any more busy, less busy than years previous. Although I will give Universal credit, they do continue to allow Express Pass to be expressy. And especially with the crowds that we see consistently year over year at HHN, I appreciate
It's appreciated.
I appreciate it. Being able to buy that Express Pass, I know it adds up, but to be able to get that Express Pass and have so much time saved, that is a huge draw. Huge draw. 100%.
Big changes in operations for Stay and Scream, I think almost unanimously. We can say, keep that. That was amazing.
Yes.
And I don't honestly think we need to dive too much into it because just unanimous across the board. I have not heard a bad thing about it.
No, I think Stay and Scream, the way that they did it this year, and as they worked through the kinks of the very opening days and week of like, how do we get these stanchions here? How do we line people up there? They really cleared some things up and made for a much more streamlined process. On top of, well, Rip Ride's now gone, and so I can only imagine and hope that for next year's season, if they sustain Stay and Scream the way it is, it should only be easier to get to those houses in the front back. Like, that should only be better, unless, who knows what construction for the new ride looks like.
Sustain the wristbands. I think overall, HHN 34, 2025, whatever you want to call it, was honestly one of the best years of Halloween Horror Nights that we've been to.
Yeah, honestly, we had a fantastic time. We really loved the houses, the shows, the scare zones. There were so many great things about it. The overall complaint I have is I just didn't get enough sleep throughout the season.
You never do. You never do.
But that's what you have the rest of the year for, to build up, and then, lose sleep for next season.
So let us know, what are you most looking forward to at HHN 35, HHN 2026, whatever you want to call it, IPs, foods, scare zones, shows. What are you looking forward to next Halloween Horror Nights season?
I want to know houses, icons, foods. What day are you going? It's time to start planning now.
Gotta start planning now. And so if you need any help planning your Halloween Horror Nights 2026, be sure to let us know. We're happy to help. If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out.
See you in the fog next year.
Bye.
It's kind of itchy. This is all I have.
You need to type your cortisone?
Do you have any? I've been looking all night, but I don't know if it's gonna react. I don't really even know what this stuff is, so I don't know if it's gonna be some sort of chemical reaction.
Yeah, you should get that checked out.
I don't know, they're all zombies, and I will be one any moment.